Parashat Beshalach. We've finally made it out of Egypt. We're going to get to the Yam Suf. We're going to start walking towards Mount Sinai. It's great. Things go good finally after so many parashot talking about slavery. Right at the beginning of the parasha, Vahi Beshalach Paro Ta'am, and they were walking, and Hashem doesn't take them by the way of the Plishtim. And then we get told, Vayikach Moshe at Atzmot Yosef Imo. Moshe took the bones of Yosef. You want to know what type of Jew you are, to really understand where you're holding, where you are in relation to your mitzvah performance. Perhaps one way of looking at it is, what mitzvah are everyone doing? So by doing them, yes, you're doing the right thing, but maybe there's a level of social pressure, social acceptability, acceptance. Everyone's getting involved, so you get involved. It doesn't demonstrate too much about your commitment, because ultimately, if everyone's doing it and you're not there, it looks awkward. And if you are there, you look like a good person. But what about the mitzvot that are ignored? What about the mitzvot that are dirty or maybe make you feel a bit squirmish? Vayikach Moshe tatzmot Yosef. Moshe took Yosef's bones with him. The leader of the nation worrying about a promise that was made back in the time of the tribes to Yosef before he died. Take my bones out of this country when you get out. And that was a promise that they had made. Nobody was interested. They were interested in the gold and the silver and the plunders, the spoils that they took out of Egypt. Now remember, they didn't necessarily want that stuff. And Hashem last week had to say, no, please take it. It's important. And that was part of it. So they were doing the will of Hashem. But that was Moshe going off on his own. Sometimes it takes great people to remind us how to be great. Don't look for what's always socially acceptable. Look for what has profound depth and meaning. Perhaps the mitzvah where no one will thank you, the mitzvah that maybe gets you a little bit dirty and or puts you maybe at a social disadvantage. Not that Moshe in our context needed the gold and silver, but if we're translating this into our language and everyone's going off and doing something that gets them social acceptance or perhaps maybe social benefits, and you go off to rescue that mitzvah that's all alone that nobody wants. So yes, you've overcome that and you've done something profound, but what if you lose out? I think even if you lose out. And that way you can really understand where you are in relation to Hashem, where you are in relation to the Jewish people. As we saw this week, final hostage merited being buried back in the homeland. Vayikach Moshe tatzmot Yosef. Moshe brings the bones. It's so profound. The connection is so beautiful and so deep. Let's make sure we don't leave anyone ever behind. Not just dry bones. Remember that vision in the prophet? The dry bones become the nation. Let's extrapolate and extend it to not just the bones or the dead of our people, but never leaving any Jew behind, never leaving any member of our community behind. It is not socially acceptable to extend your hand to those who might be different, to those who are marginalized and acceptable, or you don't feel you can do it. Remember Moshe. Remember what we did this week in Medinat Yisrael. Every Jew belongs, and let's bring them to Eretz HaChaim, to the land of the living. Give everyone the gift of life in the land of the living. Bezrat Hashem, we'll all be home soon. Shabbat Shalom.